Radical.
Well, this Christmas day didn't go quite as planned, but it turned out okay. So this morning, I uploaded about the 2024 Dodge Daytona being an overpriced joke. I thought that upload came out pretty well. That was going to be the first of like 4 or 5 uploads I had planned for the day. I had a couple comment response uploads. I think, one on something concerning video games, maybe Xbox, PlayStation. Then I had something fun planned. I was going to just kind of roll. I can roll with the uploads. But on the way to give my friend a Christmas present this morning, I had a tire blowout on my 94 Nissan Sentra. And it's my own damn fault. It's my own damn fault because I had left that car sitting for about 3.5 weeks because I've been busy and I really haven't been driving that particular car. And there was a slow air leak I've usually had an issue with on the back right. And after weeks and weeks of sitting, what'll happen is the air will just, work its way out of that tire. And I've had some really cold days here recently. And in the winter, I don't know about your tires, but usually in the winter, if one of my cars sets, it'll drop PSI a lot higher in the winter. So I heard a sound from the back. I had a lot of stuff in the trunk, so I thought the sound was stuff in the trunk. And I wasn't paying attention to the feel. I was just kind of stubborn. I'm like, okay, I'll go. It's a short distance to my friend's house. He looks like a woolly booger, man. Like he looks like an unkept Santa Claus. So I said, and he's a cheap ass. He's a cheapskate. So I thought for Christmas this year, I'm going to give him a shaver. Not just a shaver, but like a Vivitar shaving kit. Even has a carrying case. Very, very nice. I think it was only like $15, so yeah. I just got tired of looking at his unkept beard. He looks like, Jim Carrey, when he had that long beard in Dumb and Dumber, that's exactly how it looks like. And he's supposed to be getting a job interview pretty soon. So I didn't want him going to look at the job interview looking like a damn woolly booger, like a bum or something like that. So that was my Christmas, excuse me. That was my Christmas present to him. And on the way, conveniently right before I hit a furniture store, well, I didn't hit a furniture store, before I got near a furniture store, the tire blew out. And I could tell some was fucking up back there, and it wasn't just a minor thing, it was a blowout. So I conveniently, luckily, was near a huge empty parking lot, because it's Christmas Day, everything's closed, an empty parking lot at the furniture store. And I wasn't really mad that it happened. I was actually more like relieved that it happened right before I could make a turn into the furniture store. Also, you might say, well, that's a terrible time for it to happen, Christmas Day. I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking, as long as I can find a wrecker, this is kind of ideal. Because you ever broke down somewhere and it's really annoying because you have several cops pass by you and they're trying to help, but you're like, oh shit, here they come. And they're trying to figure out like what you're doing there first, because I think you're just there for unsavory reasons, and you have to just wave down, stick your hand to when they go like, "Yep, having car issues." It helps sometimes to pop the hood if that happens, because then the cop will instantly think, "Well, this guy's got issue with his hood." But nobody was around. I was just chilling there for 30 minutes. I called a wrecker, and they said they had a wrecker that was maybe like an hour out, I believe. So yeah, was all fine there. Wrecker came by, and it was a blowout to the rear of the car. And the thing is, he did not have to, I was worried that, he would have to pull from the very front of the car, and I didn't have my key with me to get my fancy rims off. And see, I was under the impression that they would send a long bed wrecker, but they didn't send a long bed wrecker, because that's what I requested. They sent one, without the long bed, and they have to pull from the very top of the car. Well, he was able to pull from the very back of the car, and he just tied the steering belt, he tied the seatbelt around the steering wheel, just so it wouldn't move. And it was fine. I drove back with him, and no problem there. No problem when it came to that. Except, well, the fact that I have a blown out tire. And I no longer knew where the spare was, because I took it out because I installed a kicker sound system in the rear of the car. So I was like, fuck, I don't have a spare. So I'm going to have to order, 4 new tires. Why not? Because, the tires weren't brand new. So, they're kind of cheap for that particular car. So I'm thinking, order 4 new tires. But I didn't have to worry about getting it wrecked to the place as I intend to tomorrow next week, because I forgot I have a spare 94 Sentra that I use for parts that I once drove, but it broke down, and I wasn't going to sell it for a couple $100 because it's worth its weight in gold in parts. And I thought, could it possibly be? Could the spare tire still be in the back of that car? Not only was the spare tire in the back of that other car, but it seemed like it had never ever been taken off. Because when I unscrewed the screw that's holding down the spare tire, I thought there was another bolt holding it on, but actually it was just 30 years worth of whatever was under that tire sticking it to the bottom of the wheel well. And this thing was beautiful. Beautiful, man. It looked like a tire that had just rolled off the assembly line. And that's what's on the car right now. So I put it on, drove down the road, and it's okay. And since it's a brand new spare tire, I mean, I'm not going to drive it for a while, but it's nice to know that I could. Nice to know that I could. So was my morning story with the tire blowout. Any of you ever had a tire blowout? It's very stressful if you're, in congested traffic. I was going maybe but I had no traffic to worry about. It was an ideal situation. Christmas Day, low traffic. Your biggest problem is going to be finding a wrecker or someone that can come out on Christmas. That's your biggest problem. But I didn't have that issue. I was going about 40. I think I've had one other tire blowout in my life. It was on the same vehicle, and I was going maybe 55, 60. Oh, good news. I didn't damage the rim, because you can damage the wheel. Both times, I did not damage the rim. Now, as the day went on, I found me a McDonald's. I found me a Mickey D's to give me some chicken sandwiches. Because one thing that sucks about Christmas is everything is closed. That means all the restaurants, or most of them. For some reason, Red Lobster and McDonald's were the only ones I saw that were open. And I'd be damned if I'm going to Red Lobster. I don't really like seafood that much anyway. But Red Lobster's pretty expensive, and I don't like dropping a lot of money on food. Because I'm more the kind of person who I see food as just something that, you need for energy, and you turn to poop. Like, I'm not a person that really goes out of their way to pay a lot of money for food. I'll pay money for something like, like a big screen TV, because I'm getting constant uses out of it. You know how I'm feeling. Like, I don't want to just eat the cheapest food in the world, but I don't want to spend $50, $60, $70 to eat one meal or something. I just think that's really stupid. So, what am I watching right now? I'm watching what I'm going to feature in the next show off Saturday. I'm watching my 75-inch TV. Man, if you could see this. I'm so sleepy today. If you could see this mess in the storage room where I'm putting this 75, oh my freaking goodness. This place is a disaster. I underestimated the space I would need to open up the 75-inch TV box, take it out, and arrange it, put the little feetsies on. I underestimated it, making sure not to, knock over anything important. But it's gorgeous. I'm looking at it. It's gorgeous. A Christmas has started off with me having a tire blowout. Finishes with me trying to figure out what's the first movie I'm going to watch on the 75-inch TV. Right now, I'm catching up on some Radical Rick uploads. And that's not weird, is it? Watching your own uploads? Listening to your own uploads? I don't know. Don't care if you think it is or not. I like checking out some of my more recent ones. Gosh, can you tell I'm so tired? It's just been a tiring day all around, man. But I got it in me. A couple more uploads. I'm going to get back on schedule. Still for Christmas. And man, again, this 75. It's a TLC. Picture is just stunning, man. It's not an OLED, but God, it looks good. God, it looks good. So what movie should I watch? The first movie on this. I could watch something really good, but I think I'll check out a rock movie. The big red one, I believe, for Christmas. Why the fuck not, right?